welcome to the Friday Debrief.
Hi, happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. So, Robyn, I'm so excited. You have invited another teacher to join us. We're so happy to have Kerry LeRoy with us today. She is a special education teacher here at the ranch. And Kerry, we're just delighted because now you are a member of the Learn, Teach, Lead Club. We kind of roped you in, huh?
I'm so excited about it.
Good. Well, we're really glad to have you here. So, Robyn, why don't you tell us a little bit about the, get us caught up. Tell us about the exciting work that you've been doing with Kerry and what's been going on in your classrooms.
Absolutely. Thank you, Jeanine. Hi, Kerry. Welcome.
Hi, Mrs. D'Angelo.
So we have been touching base, and Kerry, teaches a different grade than I do. So it's really kind of cool to see that vertical comparison of data from third grade to fourth grade. So we've been touching base and trying to find out how using AI to personalize instruction within the general ed classroom as well as the special ed classroom really makes a difference with that personalized target instruction. So Kerry and I have been kind of going back and forth with running our data through AI, ChatGPT, and Magic Schools. And I'll let Kerry kind of tell you just about different ways that it has helped her in her classroom to personalize that instruction as well. So take it away, Kerry.
I will do. It's really great because I actually get to see it in fourth grade in an in-class support model. And then I get to see it in third grade in a resource room model. So it's less students, but it's more targeted instruction. So I'm going to talk first about the targeted instruction because AI has really made it simple for me to differentiate between the students. They're on totally different levels. I'm able to use AI to go in and to target what skills they specifically need. And one thing that I found actually across the board in ICS as well is that a lot of my students have a modification of speech to text. And this is a great modification, but you need to speak the punctuation. And it's not something we naturally do. When we talk, we don't say, "Hey, how are you?" ? So they're forgetting this and they're not going back in and editing because that's the higher level skill that they don't really possess yet. So I was able to use AI with Robyn. We went through and we were able to make writing samples that were missing the punctuation, missing the spellings. And the kids are able to go through and practice those skills. So now when they go through and they do the voice to text, they are able to see, hey, you know what? I forgot to put that punctuation in here. I forgot to capitalize that because without saying it, it's not there. And it's something so simple, but we don't think about it. And it's an important modification that they all need.
Yeah, and I know that in your particular group, Kerry, some of your students have very limited interests. In other words, there are certain things that they're 100% interested in and perhaps a little bit difficult to motivate outside of those particular interests. So you had shared with me that you are using AI to create the practice activities that are strongly aligned with something you know that the student is interested in. Can you talk into that a little bit?
Absolutely. I've been able to do that with both informational text and fictional text. So I find a category that they like and I put it into AI and it makes a writing sample just for them. And then it comes up with comprehension questions. And I even put in, hey, I need harder questions. And it was able to make them harder for them, to give them a challenge. And just this past week, I had a student whose birthday it was. So I put in his birthday and some of the gifts that he already got because he got some pets from his parents that were he's very into crustaceans. So we put them all in and they celebrated his birthday. And he was so surprised when we were reading it because I did it just like we do our reading and writing assessments every week. And so he was so surprised to see his name and he was so interested and geared towards it. And I think now that they see that I'm sprinkling it in, I don't do it all the time because I want them to get used to having that grit with text they don't really feel comfortable with. Because that's what life is about. And so they look for that now. So they're like, ooh, what is she going to sprinkle in here? Is it going to be my turn? Is she going to talk about roadblocks because I love roadblocks? Or is she going to talk about crabs because I love crabs? So it's good that they get to look for that too, because they look forward to reading and writing. Whereas before it was It was grueling for them. It wasn't something that they really wanted to do.
For sure. And isn't it amazing how you can use these tools based on what they already know to engage them even further? And last time I shared with Ms. Nostrom and Kate that I got an email from a parent who the student really was not, writing and reading was not, that child's forte, and he didn't really love it. And this year, he loves to write and he loves to read. And how great does that make you feel, with your class, Kerry, that you can take these, this knowledge that they know and personalize it even more to really engage them in that, that small group lesson?
Absolutely. And even with imaginative text, when you have to change the story, they weren't really into that in the beginning. And now they're like, oh, I can't wait. I'm going to pick what Sal does. And they can't wait to try it out. And I print out their work and we edit it and we go back in. So they're getting all of those tools and all those necessary components of writing every single day through AI. And it's making it so much more simpler for all of us.
That's great. Are you using Magic Schools to create this original text, or are you using ChatGPT to personalize the text that you're creating? What AI tools have you been utilizing?
I have used both. Robyn and I used the Magic Schools in order to assess their writing and to figure out where their deficits were to work on those targeted skills.
Mm-hmm.
But I tend to use ChatGPT more.
Okay.
So I find it more helpful.
When you ran your students' data, when you ran their writing through Magic Schools and you got back that personalized feedback, I mean, as a special educator, that's right in your wheelhouse, right? Always personalizing the instruction, always leveling, differentiating. Did you feel that it gave you any different feedback, or was it just a more efficient way of getting that feedback? Meaning it's kind of the same thing that I would see if I was reading, doing this by hand. How did you feel it influenced the way you looked at their work?
Yeah, I think that it helped because it was definitely a time saver, because I do work a lot off of their individualized goals, which is hard when you have a fuller class and you have a bunch of goals happening at the same time to achieve. So I found that it was easy to put that into ChatGPT and just say, I'm working on this targeted goal this week, but I need a nonfiction text about an ocean creature. So it was able to take what I'm doing already and concentrating on those goals and mixing it with the writing.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Did you feel it gave you any additional insights into your students? Do you feel like you know them any better after using or did you feel the benefit of this was creating the personalized instruction afterwards?
I feel like the outcome was what I gained the most from it, because even that, I found the most important thing was that voice to text that I discussed earlier, because that was something that held me up all the time. Mm-hmm. And now I feel like I found the solution to it. And because it's hard, because as an educator, I naturally write well when I'm writing text or when I'm writing an email. So it was hard and I never thought to go through and make text that was not great for them to correct as the solution for it. So once I figured out that I could ask ChatGPT to do that for me, it was a game changer, because they look forward to that day of the week that we correct the writing and we correct their writing.
That's so
Isn't
great.
That wonderful? It's wonderful that you could take this, AI tool to bring it into your classroom to really, have the students look forward to that writing period. If you could tell another special ed teacher one thing that you really, really found successful during this AI journey, and this is just the start of it, what would you say would be the one thing that you love the most, besides the speech to text?
I love how simple it makes it, because we don't have any more time in our day. We are trying to do so many things at once and wearing so many hats between their goals and their behaviors and everything else that we're trying to put in with getting through the curriculum. I feel like the time saving was the most beneficial thing about AI that I found.
Yeah, I agree with that, because so many times we think, oh, if I only had some help, and now we feel like help has arrived.
Yes. Yes.
That's
But I'm
great.
telling you, I thought I needed to teach my students to talk like a robot and be like, I was walking my dog down the street, period. And
Yeah.
I just said, I don't want to train them in talking like that because that's not a natural thing.
Sure.
So now that I have this, I can really focus on editing. And it's really been a game changer for me.
And Kerry, do you feel like in a roundabout way it has helped with behaviors in your class? You know, not that we're putting into AI how to, you know, help with behaviors. You didn't do that particularly, but by engaging them so much more, do you feel like in a roundabout way it has helped with the engagement and the behaviors?
Absolutely. The students are just more engaged with the pieces of writing now, and they want to do the writing because now they see these examples that are inspiring to them. They're not all boring or dry or so low that there's limited text at their level of decodable text that are available to us. So just having something there for them to see and to use, they're like, I can do this too. So it is very motivating to my students. So it has helped with behaviors. Absolutely.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So we hope that you'll continue to participate in this whole Learn, Teach, Lead project that we're doing. It looks like you're off to a really great start. Do you have any ideas about what you might like to try next?
I'm not sure, but I would like to try this with math because I do have multi-grades for math. So it's hard for me to cross-curriculate the two grades. So
yeah, absolutely. That is a huge challenge. That would be something fun to explore, Robin. We could think about, how we could leverage AI to help a teacher who has such a wide range of students in the class all work on the same topic and, meet everybody's different needs. So in math, that would be a really fun one to work on. So thank you so much.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for joining us for the Friday
this
debrief.
was so great.
Good. Yep. So we look forward to continuing to hear updates about how things are going with your use of AI and in the special ed classroom. And if there's anything that you would like to share with us in the future, certainly come back and let us know because we're always eager to learn, teach, and lead.
I love it.
See you next week.
Thanks. Have a great week.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great week. Bye-bye.
Bye.